DQM, it's an data quality management. So data quality management, we will be discussing. So before going to how we can implement the data quality management rules in the system, I will give you the background why we need data quality management in the system. It's not necessary for each and every project. Whenever we have a huge data in the system loaded from other system, from legacy system to the MDG system, we may need to correct the data, existing data. Like data loads will be happen. Let's say we have a supplier data around 1 lakh records. Okay, so we have done this through data loads. So once the data loads through BODS, we have processed all the supplier information BP data into MDG system, right? So this MDG system will hold all the data without proper checking. It was not triggered through change request or some other functionality. It was just pushed from other system to MDG system, and it is available in the master data tables. So in this case, to correct the all 1 lakh or 2 lakhs record, so we cannot check each and every record and then correct it, or we cannot take 100 or 200 records every time and then check and process through change request the corrections, right? It will take a lot of time, like how we have done consolidation and mass processing. So this is also kind of a quality management tool. It is available in SAP MDC consolidation, right? So not from the MDG AMG. It is available. This configuration we have to do in MDC AMG, and then we have to use this data quality management, right? So once we run this data quality management, all the data will be corrected, and if we require, then it will be trigger a change request. Again, change request is an option here. Either we can trigger a change request, without change request also we can correct the data. First, before correcting, we can identify how many records are okay, how many records are not okay as per our analysis. So that functionality we will need to create through DQM rule, data quality management rules. So these rules will work with BRF. Again, it's a BRF, right? How this rule will work, this DQM work, this will work with BRF plus. Simple BRF logics. We have added a BRF rules when we do with the validation and derivations for each and every change request. Similarly, we will be creating a BRF plus rules for the existing master data. Let me go into the system.
When we say BR plus we are going to use, we also call for decision tables here. For as per my understanding, no, right?
No, we will be creating only rules.
Okay.
We are not dealing with the decision tables. Decision tables are for workflow process.
Yes.
So here we will have a BRF for data quality and search. Here also we will be having DRF, right? Validation and derivations.
Okay.
Yeah, when you are doing a define validation and derivations, you will be creating some BRF rules. So similarly, for DQM app also, we will be creating a rules, BRF rules. Okay, let me take a material. And if I go inside, if you remember, we have created a validations for check entity for the change request. So here we have under check entity, we have some validations for material, or if we take finance, for finance objects, we will be having some rules like this. And inside the rule sets, we may have, this is, let me take the other one probably. So this is a check entity and derive entity also. I said like we can create a BRF rules. So based on this BRF rule, we will get the error messages. We will trigger error messages. If there is a department is mandatory, we can update a department is mandatory. And cost element, when you are creating a cost element, cost center, a profit center is mandatory. Wherever you feel the key fields are required, then we can update the rules. So it will pop up the validation or error messages. So this is for creating of change request, right? Change request creation. It means it is applicable for the staging area. It is applicable for the change request process. But this DQM app is not for change request. This is for the existing data. This is applicable for the existing master data. for the existing tables. If you want to create a rule for Mara or Marcy, you need to add the base table and then proceed with the DQM rule, data quality rule. Then how it works, like it will check all the data available in the system and give you the list of records which are okay, which are not okay as per the rule. Okay. So SAP, if you say this introduction, SAP already has a robust solution in the MDM space with the which is SAP MDG. Okay, so MDG we will not be using, and most of the customers are upgraded to MDG. And in the MDG, so to correct the data from S/4HANA 1901, and SAP came up with the solution data quality management. So this is available from 1909 version. Earlier, this option was not available. So they were doing something else with the manual changes, the file corrections. And so this MDC, IMG, the consolidation process and mass processing and data quality management comes up with the 1909 version. And from there you can use this. Okay. And this is also limited. It is only applicable for material and BP. It's not released for the finance. As of now, for finance, we don't have a DQM map. Only for material and business partner, they have released it. So we just need to enable this and use, that's all. Okay. The solution data quality management, which can be integrated along with the governance of the master data. This solution will provide insight about the current data quality system, which helps organization cleans the master data. It means like it will clean the master data, the clean master data. Let's say if I go to the table BUT 000, this is a BUT 000 table. Here we will store all the business partner general data. Now let me take the group, any group BP02 and execute. I can see there are many records with blank, right? So search term 1 is blank. So it means this is faulty record. Wherever I see blank, it means I need to correct this data. So in this case, I cannot sit for each and every record. I cannot take and trigger a change request. It is, even if I correct it manually or through programmatically, it won't be good. So for users, they have to do their own, they should not depend on other consultant to do it, because this is easy process, right? So to help them, SAP has released this DQM, data quality management role. So with this role, being a functional consultant, the end user, they can also create a simple rule and correct this data cleansing activity. Okay. So this will be released, applicable only for MM and BP, not for finance. This is also important point. Now how we can create this data quality management role. So let's say here we are talking about this BUT 000, and wherever my grouping is BP02 and the field name is search term 1, I should correct this data. So I have a requirement to create a DQM rule for this BUT 000. So in this case, we can achieve this kind of requirement. As I said, we need to create a DQM, right? So to create that, we will have to go with a Fury, okay? Fury app /n UI2 FLP transaction code, okay? So here you will have data quality for business partner, data quality for products. So products comes under materials. Product means it's material master data. So with this, you can create any rule, DQM rule for material master and material master extended data models or material master used data models. Okay. And it is for business partner. So BUT 000 is comes under a business partner. So now here we have few tabs, right? Validation rules, data quality evaluation, and evaluation results for business partner, manage rules for mining. These two are different, but generally we will have DQM rule steps like create rule, and process rule, and process evaluate rule. Let me evaluate rule, evaluate results. So these are the 3 steps we generally follow: create rule, process, and evaluate results. So to create the rule, we will have here for business partner. So now I'm going here, validation rules. You can see there are few sample rules are already created for BUT 000 only. This is the general data generally for BP will be used BUT 000. And now I think we know the requirement. So we will be creating a rule for BUT 000 where grouping is BP02 and search term should not be initial, or search term should be initial. Let's take that regards maybe. Should be means like if search term is initial, then let's take that regards and see how we can create. So now if you see from Fury, we have so many tabs. So in this, I have chosen data quality for business partner. So now what is the first step? Create a rule. To create rule, validation rules. Here you can go this tab, click on this tab. And here you will have a create option. So once you click on this create button, system will allow you to enter a rule ID, rule name, all this information we have to provide. So whatever we have here, header data and general information, usage of the rule, implementations, simulations, right? Dimensions, additional information. So the few tabs are not recommended to fill. And again, you have to create it, send it for approval and get the approval. Then once it is approved, then it will be used. Okay. So now let's create a rule underscore BU underscore SORT 1. So this is for search term 1. Given a sample rule name, rule ID and rule name both are same, and base table. So this is important. So it means which table we will be concentrating, which table you are interested to create a rule. So now it is BUT 000. In products, maybe it is Mara table or Masi table or some other table, Maram related table. So here, let me take BUT 000. Yeah. So base table I have given. No, check field. Which field? So you can take the field also. Field name, search term 1, right? BU SORT 1. BU underscore SORT 1. I got it. Table name and field name. So we have to cross check always before proceeding or creating this. So now I have given the header information, rule ID, rule name, and scope. And then general information. This is optional, but if it is in the production or somewhere, maybe you need to get the approval and then go ahead. So what is the business description? This is a general description. Why we are creating this role? So I can give this as role is to identify the search term 1 data, blank data, and correct. Okay. And reason also I'm giving same. Scope also I'm giving same. And then I will give some technical information like a table is this one, and field BP underscore field name. Let me take this BU group and SORT, BU underscore SORT 1. Yeah. So these two fields I will be adding under the scope, and link text to display. This is optional. And if there is any URL, you can give the URL. So now I have given the general data, general information. And here in right hand side, rule owner. If we need to get a owner approver, maybe you can get the rule owner in real time and you can give that name, or maybe as a developer you can give your name, and implementation expert also same, and a business contact. For now let me give same user ID. Data owner also I'm giving same. So for everything this is wrong. Okay, business contact and data owner I have given the same user ID. And then scroll down. So you have to fill one by one, as I said, general information, usage, implementation, etc. So now I have given the base table, field name and description, role ID and role name.
Hey, you know, ZaranTech now offers SAP corporate training. That's right. Train your workforce in SAP with our comprehensive program. We offer customized courses, certified trainers, and hands-on labs for both individuals and businesses. Our standout features: bespoke training, fully configured servers for practice, in-house materials, and a dedicated LMS. Plus, get session recordings and 24/7 support. From functional to technical modules, we have got it all. Choose ZaranTech for SAP training and watch your team excel. Learn, upskill, succeed with ZaranTech.
Is it clear? It is very easy to remember, I think. And then if you come down in the implementation, we will have scope and condition. This is important. We will have scope and condition. Here we will need to add a BRF expressions, but I didn't see those expressions. BRF link is not available. So now as soon as you click on create, if you update this rule data, then it will be available. So now it was created. Send for implementation. Yeah. Send for implementation. Let me go up. And now you will need to add the rule. Add rule usage to proceed with rule implementation. So now I have given the general data. To implement the rule, we need to add the usage. So if I click on this usage button, I have some options: data quality evaluation, check-in change request, check-in consolidation, check-in mass processing. So it means it is applicable for all these 4 concepts. So DQM is applicable for the change request level. DQM is applicable for the existing active data. So DQM is applicable for the consolidation. DQM applicable for mass processing. So in our case, we are going to check with the existing data. So let's take this data quality evaluation, the first one. So now the usage I have taken data quality evaluation, and status you can see it is not yet ready. So to make it ready, click on this prepare and click on prepare usage. So now it is enabled. You can see the usage action is enabled now. And if you scroll down, you can see that expression and condition both are enabled. Rule underscore BU SORT underscore SCP, rule underscore BU underscore SORT underscore CON, condition and scope both are available now. And the initial status is it's red. It's not been implemented. We have to implement. We have to implement these 2. So how we can implement? What is the functionality? Our functionality is when there is a group BP02 and search term is blank, then display the records. Very simple. So how we can divide this? How we can implement? First, like I have BUT000 table. So now first in the scope, what I'll be giving? I'll be giving like if my BU group, this is a grouping table. BU group is got BP02. If my BU group is BP02, that's all in the scope. And then another condition. This is the main condition. So here what I have to give? I have to give the search term. If my search term is initial or blank. So these are the conditions, right? So it is easy to add. So now let's go back and click this scope and add that scope. So if you remember how we can add the BRF related information here, we just need to edit, remove this and add your own context, right? So I'll be removing this and now it is blank. If you click on this drop down here, you will have option to choose your context. So BRF context. You have to remember this. Maybe you will forget. We just need to remove. Let me come back again. Yeah. Click on expression and then click on edit. So this is SAP replaced by own operand. So this is SAP's own operand. Now we have to replace with our operand. Then go here, edit operand, remove operand. So it means this field is removed. Now it is blank. We have to assign. It's not yet assigned. To assign, click on this like a drop down button. And here the first option, use direct value range from. Use direct value range from. You can take context. In context, if you have your fields, you can choose it. Or otherwise, you can go to more. And in the more, you will get everything related to BP here. You will get everything. And choose whatever you want, right? Now, I'm just closing this. I'm coming back and I have chosen the same path. Use direct value range and context. And then what is the first condition? Grouping, right? How to take grouping. So if BUT 000 grouping is equal to is equal to what? BP02. That's all. Just save this, check it, and activate. The main header or scope is done now. So this is our scope. If you are working with change request, you have to give the CR type also, because this is not for the change request. This is for the existing data. We will be directly putting the condition BU200 grouping is BP02. Then this is the main condition. Activate it and then go back. And now what else you have? So now you have activated the scope. So it is active now. And you have condition. So this condition is a main condition. So here we will need to add our main condition. Just click on edit button and then similar process. We have to remove the SAP replace by one operand. Click on this edit operand and then click on remove operand. So it is free now. You can add your own operand. To add your own condition, just click on this drop down, use direct value range and go to the context. BRF context will be populated all the basic fields here. So now I'm interested to go with the search term 1. Yeah, if BU200 search term 1 is equal to, you can give any number if it is required, but we will be checking the blank data. So then I'll need to change this. So to change the condition, if condition, you click on this drop down, you will have a lot of options. You will have contains any. Suppose if I want to check any special characters, so if it is contained any, I can give this contained any dollar, any percent, any dollar symbol, any special characters, hash, star. So all these things I can put. Sometimes that data, some data when we do uploads, we will identify, we will observe that some special characters data, the data will be converted automatically. So some junk data will be stored in the table. To remove that, we have to apply this DQM rules. So this is also one scenario. Now I'm checking is initial. So this is for search term 1. If I want to add any other attribute, so this is one field, search term 1. I want to check the search term 2 also. So I can see search term 2 also blank, right? I cannot put one more condition for this again and again, right? I should not create another rule for this. So what I can do, I can add whatever the field I want. Search term 2, name 1, name 2. Wherever it is blank, I can add it. So to add one more field, I can put here edit operand. I can go this edit operand, and what you have, this is operand. Add a condition. So if I click on add a condition, by default I got condition. Let me click on this drop down and change it to and. So this works for the and condition and not assigned. Click on this not assigned again and go to context and take search term 2. And again, you put is not initial. And then if I want to add one more condition, one more attribute like name 1, this is the one, name 1 is, then same thing. Go here, add a condition and then context. So name 1 is not available here. So you can take from more, click on more. So here we need to check the name 1, last name, legal name. Now let me give here name and search name 1. I got it. If name 1 is initial. So it means like this, you can put or you can give a number of conditions. Here it is 1 and 2 and 3. Based on your requirement, we can give the conditions and save it. Just check it and activate it. Here you can see it is green. I'm going back. As soon as you go back, you can see both are in active. Both are in green. Status for scope is green. Status for condition is also green. So now what else we have to add? Simulations, if it is required, we can add simulations. Like it won't work now. Yeah. So now we have added general information. Usage is enabled and implementation is done. So this is the main implementation. And what else we have? We don't have much mandatory information. And then you have assigned for testing. click on this, send for testing, and the role status was changed. So now it is enabled. So if you want to disable, you can disable it. Okay, now send for implementation, send for testing, and approve. Okay, this is enabled. The status you can see, the role status is enabled, right? So this is done. What we have created a rule for BU200 and it is upload status you can see here. And this rule, let's say I have created this rule in development system. I need to have this rule in my pre-production system. So I need to have this rule in a pre-production system. What I have to do, generally, I should do the transport from development to quality, quality to pre-prod, pre-prod to production, right? So that is a general process. But for this DQM, you no need to do with the transport. You can simply do the export option. So I have selected this role and you have export. Export this to your desktop and then you can import anywhere, wherever you want. It is easy. You can import it and send for implementation, get the approval and use it. That's all. So underscore VUSORT1. So it is available here. You can export this to your local desktop also. You can export this to SendMail. You can export this to Excel sheet. You have a lot of options actually. So there is another export to spreadsheet, right? You can export this to spreadsheet. See, simple. You can import this again. Now let me go back. So now what we have done with the first step. First step is create a rule. This is done. And process rules and evaluate rule. To process rules, we have to come back to overview page. And here we will need a process rule. I think we don't have that app. We have only evaluation role, data quality evaluation. Let me check this. Here in this system, I don't have that app, but yeah. So you will need to have one more to process the rule, how we have created. Similarly, like this, we will have a create button for process. There you just need to select our rule which we have created and click on process. So it starts the process. It executes how we have done the execution for mass processing and consolidation. Similarly, it will execute the process and gives the results. Where we can see the results, this is the evaluation results page. Here you can see the results. As I was saying, it will display the OK records and not OK records. The example I can give OK and not OK. So now I have taken only OK records. And if you scroll down, you can see the down evaluation items with all the records. So this is for another rule, not for our rule. Maybe it was implemented long back. And after that, something I think they have deleted or something went wrong. We don't have a process rule app.
I think that last option is there, process rule in rule mining or something it is written.
That is different actually. Yeah. So this is not OK records. You can take this data. So this one also, like you will have options to export. Sometimes user is required to export. Sometimes they require this information to send mail to their supervisors and get it approved, right? So in that purpose, we can use these options: export as, export, and process, right? If you click on process. So here itself, you can correct the data. Bulk data, you can correct it. Outcome is not okay. And we will have option. So it is hanged actually. We will have option to select and create a change request. Now it is triggering. Yeah. See, we can correct this data. So now let me take this custom and click on start process. This is not implemented, it seems, but let me try fails in scope. So now I have selected these two and click on this start process. This configuration was not done, I think. Otherwise, it will go from scope to edit, validate, and then activate. That's all. Similarly, how we have done for the mass processing and consolidation, the same way the DQM also works. Okay. So now I'm going back for business partner. This is different actually. Manage role mining is different. Role from role mining. These are different process rules from mining. We will need process validation rules for business partner. Okay. Anyhow, yeah, what we need process rules and we need evaluate rule. So these are the 3 steps to create a rule and process rule and execute the rule. So here you will get the results, evaluation results. Now let me go to the slides which we have from ZaranTech. Okay. Business rules for business partner and tax jurisdiction. So this tax jurisdiction for BP, whatever it is, yeah. Same like we have a validation and a derivation message.
What sets ZaranTech apart in SAP corporate training? It's our unique blend of expertise and innovation. We offer customized courses tailored to each client's needs, ensuring relevant, targeted learning. Our vast trainer database brings you wisdom from the best in the field. Need resources? Access our extensive training material repository anytime. We are all about measurable results, providing detailed student metrics to track progress. And we don't just teach, we build community. Join our thriving social media network, connecting learners beyond boundaries. With ZaranTech, you are not just training, you are transforming your SAP expertise.
Let me go through this one by one. So here you can see when you create a change request, you will get some messages, validation messages, error messages, right? Some derivation messages, some changes, some are blank, some are defaulted. So those information you will get in the change request, where you can see in highlighted color, the orange color, these are the changes. So it means when you are changing something or when you are creating something, when you are adding something, it will be populated like this. And these errors are validations, corrections. This is for change request. This is for a single object. But if you want to correct a mass records, multi records, all the huge data, then we will be doing that with the DQM, right? DQM app will work like a mass process. Either it will be a change request or it will be existing data. It works for both. And the address enrichment and duplicate check, this is all common. Maybe you can go through these documents one by one. Yeah. And the BRF plus validations, as I said, it will work with the BRF plus validations, how we have done for the check entity and derivation entity. It will work with a similar way, validation through BRF. So we have to create a BRF rule scope and a condition. Scope, we have to give the base condition, and in the main condition, you have to give the main logic. And we can use these functions, rule sets, rules, etc. So if you are familiar with the BRF plus application, you can use the other options. As of now, we have given only the simple rules, but if required, the complex functionality is required, you can use functions also. Functions and additional actions like the error messages and the pop-up messages. You can configure from the BRF. Yeah. So this is using baddie. If you want to use baddie, there are some baddies also available. We have checked this already for validation and derivations. USMD rule service baddies. So USMD rule service baddies will be used to implement the additional functionality and data quality roles. Yeah, this works like this. Define quality, enter quality, monitor quality, and improve quality. So define quality. When you are defining rule means when you define the rule, DQM rule. Requirements are defined based on your company's business process. Priorities are set according to value, import, quality, and evaluation. Experts collaborate to define needed quality level and required checks. The systems helps to identify additional meaningful rules. Yeah, so you have to give the meaningful information in the general data. Provide all the information, business scenario, and why we are using this scope, who is the contact person, who is expert, and everything. Then go ahead and then enter quality. Here we will need to create a rule. It may be for the change request or the existing data. So in this scenario, they have taken the change request process. So the change request where the search term is blank or some information they are interested to check this information with change request. And monitor. So how we can monitor after completing the creation, and we will get DQM activated and approved. Then we will process it and monitor. So during the process, it will evaluate everything, all the records, applicable records, and the app will give you the list of okay records and not okay records. So that comes under the evaluation part, monitoring part. So you can check what are the records are faulty records, what are the records are okay records, and correct them. You can process it, you can correct it, or you can trigger a change request, or you can export it to Excel sheet, or you can export it to email and then send it. There are multiple options. And improve quality. So this is another app. This is kind of graphical information, the chart kind of information you can see. Yeah, this is available, I think. Yeah, if you go here, data quality evaluation, you can see the diagrams or the graphical design level. So this will be useful for business users. So generally, so here we don't have much organization level, and this is completeness, how much it is completed and that. So the target, deviation, everything they can set and display in this format also, not with the pure technical. So this is kind of overview will be displayed with this graphic information, graphical data. Okay. Yeah, this is same like we will need to have these kind of Fury apps, data quality rule, manage rule, process rule. From mining is not required. You can see some basic information in the general information, how you can create a role, and once it is approved, what you have to add in general data, what you have to add in the business details and contact. So it is step-by-step explanation is there. You can follow this and how it works. Create new one and save, send for implementations, send for testing, activate, and enable. Once it is enabled, this will be used. So this is the step-by-step process. So this is for authorization objects. Generally, in real time, whenever you create anything, you will need to get the authorization. So for DQM, you will need authorization to correct it. So this is a sample authorization object where you have access to add, create, change, display with all these activities. And yeah, so as I said, you will have export option for the data quality rules. You can select the rule and click on export. It will be available to export to Excel, and in the Excel you can see what you have added, and again it will be imported to any other system. No need to transport it. So transport option is also available for this DQM, but we will not be doing the transport. So generally it will be preferred to export and import, because the approval process is there. Even though you export into production system without approval, you cannot execute this. Yeah. And similarly, the import option, import it and activate it and then use it. Same process again, how you have created. So you need to prepare it, click on enable and make the rule enable and provide the base table and etc. All the information is given. So initial scope and condition, how it would be when you are creating a rule, what is the scope, what is a condition, how it links. Scope is the main condition and the main logic, and condition we have to add the additional information what you will be putting in the condition. Right. Yeah, you can refer this. That's the same information what we have explained is available here. And evaluation tab looks like this. Once you process, process will be completed, and then it will give the list of records here itself. Then if you double click, if you click on this, then it will go for the main evaluation page. It will display only for this role. It will give the overview page and detailed page for this role which you have created. Yeah. And after that you can start this process, general data, create evaluation, etc. And you can see this is also from MDC IMZ, similar to the mass process and consolidation. What is okay record, what is not okay record, what is scope, what is check. So I think everything you can go through this document. Yeah. In the evaluation results, what is the basic functionality? So in the evaluation page, it looks like this. So maybe you can change this option, the viewing options. So it will display OK records and not OK records. It will give the table wise information, or it will give the descriptions also here. See MDG plant, MDG plant 00010002, plant level information or material level information. You can display it. You can change the options. You can do that settings based on the tables or plants, right? So resulted by plants. You can change these options here. Let me go to the app here. If I want to change this, I can change the settings, what I want to check. So here it is showing as BUT 000. I can change this information, base table information, and evaluation items. I can select both, or I can select one. And if it is one, OK records. And again, I can choose this organization level, assign and not assign. So we will have a lot of options to choose based on that. And the evaluation results will be displayed. These are all user-friendly options to display the information and export it. Okay. This is the score for products overview. Overview will be looks like this. Yeah. For each material type, maybe for each material group wise, we can set the display scope by dimension, scope by base table, scope by rule. Yeah, we can set the scope whatever you want. View on the product level, item category group. So you can see here the base table rules are for MAKT, MARA, MARA, and MARC, right? So you can have other options in the dimensions. You can choose the field level filters also, and then display that. So this is mainly useful for users, not for functional or technical consultants. So users, they can also create this rule and they will use it. If they don't have a hands-on, then we can go on and create them, and we can give it them for the usage. So this is the remaining enable check type, change request type functionality, evaluation, and etc. So this is a basic configuration actually from MDG Master Data Governance and Process Model change request and configure properties of change request. Only when you do with the change request. Okay. So I think the TQM is done for. So this is a simple concept. I think I'll be closing the session quickly. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Also, I recommend you to go through these PPTs. And if you go in the internet, I think you don't find much. As of now, DQM is not fully implemented, but very few customers have started using this. Okay.
Thank you. Can we load a file which has the rules?
Yes, yeah, you can export it. So it means like everything will be exported to Excel, and then you can import that.
Okay.
Import into another system.
Okay.
How you have exported, similarly, you will have import option also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Fine then. So if there is no import, then what is the use of export?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Fine then.